Now, anybody out there is craving a burger? Well, then you should listen carefully because tomorrow is World Hamburger Day, one of my favorite days of the year. Now, we have created a coveted, beautiful Lucky Star pilchard and Chakalaka burger that, listen, you're going to be thanking us later. So, Dumi, to create this masterpiece, what do we need?
Balesa, we're putting a bit of a twist on this dish because normally hamburgers are made with beef or chicken. We've decided we're not making a fish cake per se, but we're using tin fish to make our patties, and we're adding a whole lot of flavors into that. I mean, chef, we've got here our Lucky Star pilchards that's going to be going into our patties. We've got some sweet potato.
Yep.
We've also got some breadcrumbs. We've got some parsley, Balesa, that you're going to chop up for us, and all of that is going to go into this beautiful patty that we're going to serve with some rocket and some cucumber ribbons. Balesa, my mouth is watering. I think we'll just get started with this now.
On your marks, get set, go. Now, what
Guaranteed.
I'm so excited about is that what Lucky Star has done for us within the Chakalaka and within all of their different canned goods, they've allowed us to play with flavors. We've got here the hot and spicy Chakalaka, but we also have here the mild and spicy Chakalaka. So it doesn't matter your flavor or taste profile, we've got you covered. So Dumi, today we're going to be using the mix.
Yes, definitely. So today we're going to be using the mild and spicy. What I'm doing right now, though, is I'm just draining our Lucky Star pilchards here because I'm going to give Chef some of this liquid. We're going to use it to help bind our patties. And before I go further, a lot of people, when working with pilchards, what they like to do is they like to remove that bone on the center. And it's a preference. You don't have to. I personally don't mind it because I feel like it adds a bit of texture because you know that crunch that's in there. And the bones are good for you because they're a good source of calcium. So this right here, if you want to, you can remove it, but I'm the kind of person that would even chew on it while I'm busy prepping.
I mean, the calcium within those fish bones for me are unmatched, unparalleled, and that's what I love about pilchards. It doesn't matter whether you're looking for your omega-3s and those healthy fat, fish fats, they come through with the goods. Now, Chef, on your side, I just want you to get going with your mixture and what exactly you're going to be creating this
Okay,
time.
so what I'm going to be doing now is after Tumi is done with crushing the pilchard, I'm going to be making the patties.
Okay.
So what I'm going to do is I'll be mixing the breadcrumbs, spicing. I'm going to putting in I've got some onion here. I've got some pepper, a little bit of salt, and then a little bit of that liquid from the tin. And then we'll be mixing it with some flour. Make some patties. I love monster patties, so you guys will have to forgive me. And then I'm going to be dunking them in the flour, in the bread, in the egg, and then in the breadcrumbs. But for today, we're not using breadcrumbs. We're using cornflakes.
Okay.
Yeah. So you could crush your cornflakes and then turn them into breadcrumbs. Otherwise, if you don't have or if you don't want to use this, you could use, your outer cores, outer crusts from bread.
From your loaf.
From your loaf of bread. You could take those, put them in a toaster, and then leave them to dry, and then you can always use them at a later on stage.
I like that. So you're able then to play when it comes to creating that outer crust. But trust me, Chef Tapiwa, we are not going to be fighting. We want those big, juicy, fishy burger patties because we want to be able to taste what we're creating here and truly, truly enjoy it.
Okay. So I'm going to start with my burgers. Over here, I've got the sweet potato that I'm going to put in this bowl here. I'm going to mix with the fish over here. To me, I heard you speaking about the omega that we get from the fish. I recently discovered that, omega is good for, in fact, it has always been good. It helps reduce anxiety, depression. There's quite a lot that it does. So for me, anxiety, depression is something that is very, close to heart. So yeah, I'm definitely going to be eating more of Lucky Star, and shout out to Lucky Star.
I love the fact that you brought that up because a lot of South Africans and viewers that are viewing across South Africa in general can relate to having that anxiety, having that depression, especially coming out of COVID-19.
Yes.
We are making burgers, which are classic fast food recipes, and you created your very own fast food recipe as well during that lockdown, during that COVID. So you saw yourself taking that depression, that anxiety, turning it on its head, making a business out of it.
Yes, it wasn't easy. It wasn't easy starting a business during COVID. I lost my job. And then instead of just sitting and not doing anything, I decided to go back to basics. I decided to start or open shop. So I sell and cook from my house or
Sorry,
from my
I'm just
place.
moving this because I want the viewers to see exactly what you're doing over there.
All right. So I cook and I sell. So usually I post food on my Instagram and on my WhatsApp status, and then the people from or my friends and family and guys who stay in my neighborhood usually just order and they come and collect. And right now I'm moving into the Uber space. You know? So soon we'll be running a cloud kitchen.
It seems like we've got a businessman here, Dumi.
Definitely, Palisa. And Mr. Business yourself, do you want to give us the steps there with the business? You're about to form the patties for us.
Yeah. So what I've done now is I've put in I've mixed the sweet potato with the lucky star fish, crumbed. I'm adding the crumbs now, the breadcrumbs, and then I'm adding a little bit of salt just to spice. I've put in the pepper, and then I'm putting a little bit of liquid just to help me mold it.
Okay.
So I'm gonna be taking just bits and pieces. You can do small pieces, basically, and also you could add in some peppers if you want. You know, we've got kids at home who don't like veggies. I mean, you could cheat and just put in some veggies.
Sneak in some veggies.
Sneak in some veggies, and then so our burgers, there they come. So now I don't want them to be runny. I don't want to be runny. So yeah.
Okay, so Chef, I want you to form these burgers and put them on that very hot pan here so we can see that coming together. But I also love the fact that you're showing us the importance of making sure the consistency is correct, making sure that that patty is thickened up so it doesn't completely fall apart and dismantle in the pan. Very, very important.
Okay.
Now, what I also love about Lucky Star, the Chakalaka here that we're using in particular, is that it gives you an opportunity to play, whether you're creating this delicious dish that we're making today, or if you want to be adventurous. Dumi, if you could take this Lucky Star and make something different and not just these fast food burgers, what would it be?
Balis, I think I touched on it earlier in the week that I would definitely add this into a gorda. I feel like it's such a well-rounded ingredient to use, you know? Like today we're using the mild and spicy chakalaka, and it is the star of our dish today, because normally you would use like relishes and sauces, tomato sauces and stuff. This chakalaka is so perfect because it's got all the flavors packed in there. And the great thing about it is that it's got quality ingredients with those, you know, those carrots in there, all the cabbage. It's quality ingredients, so you know what you're packing into your burger is good for you.
And that's essentially now what you're using just as a relish to coat those veggies that are on your bun already. I see that you've decided to toast your buns as well, looking delicious.
Definitely, Palisa. It's always important to do that because not only does it add that smoky flavor, but it also helps with just making sure the ingredients don't get absorbed into your bun as well. Okay. So what Chef is going to do now is basically put these into some breadcrumbs and fry it up. But luckily, we've made some a little earlier. So this is basically what you're looking for. You're looking for that nice, beautiful crust on the outside. And luckily, because everything in there is already cooked, it literally is just for the beautiful color on the outside. And I'm going to start assembling these. We've got our relish at the bottom, our rocket, and we've got the chakalaka. And onto this, I'm just adding a bit of sweet chili sauce because why not? And this is basically how our burgers turn out.
Dumi, as you are just putting that together, Chef, lastly, if I were to ask you very, very quickly how you would use your Lucky Star in your very own recipe, other than what we're doing today, what would it be?
My favorite and my all-time favorite one that I would eat back in college was I would add Lucky Star. I would add some tinned beans to the Lucky Star and have it with acha and pap. Oh. God, that smacked.
Delicious. And that is the question that we're asking all of our viewers today. If you would like to walk away with your very own Lucky Star hamper, listen up. We've got some great news for you. We are giving away a 1,000 Rand Lucky Star hamper filled with loads of delicious Lucky Star items. All you have to do is to hop over to our Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram competition posts and tell us what dish you would make with a tin of Lucky Star Chakalaka. Remember to include the hashtag Lucky Star SA. Competition closes at noon, Monday, the 31st of May. T's and C's can be found on afternoonexpress.co.za. Now, as we head over to social media, we are asking you, you know, we're still celebrating African culture. We cannot do so without including food. So what twist would you love to put on a traditional African dish? Use that hashtag Afternoon Express in all of your comments. Now, Chef Tapiwa, as we are just frying up those burgers, what can we expect coming up?
Coming up, we're going to be assembling our burgers. Once we're done frying our burgers, we're going to be adding a little bit of mayo. We're going to be adding a little bit of rocket.
No, you know what, Chef? On that note, I've got another idea.
Yes.
How about you show us an innovative side of you? How about you show us how to make an ox tripe served with pap infused with a trinity of cheeses? Sound like a deal?
Perfect.
See you,
Let's go
see
for
you
it.
when we return.